Hi everyone, it's Brianna. Glad to be back on YouTube. I know it's been a while, but a lot of things have been happening, and I guess I kind of just checked out from the world and I let a lot of things get to me, but I'm better now, and this is why I'm updating you guys because there's a lot to say. So first of all, I know that there's a video on my page. I think it's Nursing School Week 2 repeat test 1 or something like that. And for some reason it's not playing anymore. I tried viewing it earlier and it kept saying the video was not available. But I don't know why, and I apologize. I'm sorry. And I've also been going through a lot of like phone problems. Because, well, the story goes, my mom's ex-husband was paying for my phone bill, and he just recently decided that he was going to stop paying for it and cut me off. So, my mom and Daddy John had to quickly find me a new phone and a new plan with a new company. So I went ahead and bought this awesome iPhone 5C from Verizon, and pretty much the day I got that phone, Steven messaged my mom and said, "Hey, I guess I'll continue to pay her bill now and everything's going to go back to normal." Well, that was a problem because I already had a new phone. So I had to return my awesome iPhone 5C and go back to my broken iPhone 4. So Daddy John could find me another new iPhone for the AT&T company. So I went back and forth between my old number, my new number, and had so many problems with iTunes trying to like re-download everything and log into my old accounts and all of that. Well, this was like the hugest problem because when I got the new iPhone 5C and I logged into my YouTube account, none of my videos were on there. Nothing on the app itself everything was gone, and I was freaking out. I was like, holy cow. And I think all the videos are on the computer because I logged in today and they were all on there. I don't know if they work. But see, that's my issue, and I hope they're still working because I worked really hard on those videos, and I don't want you guys to lose them. So that was the number one issue, and that was like a bad thing, but this is a good thing. Daddy John had some government money, something to spend. It wasn't his money, but he could only spend it on like medical stuff. So he bought me a new stethoscope, and it's pink, and it's a Littmann, which is like the Cadillac of stethoscopes. I love it. And so I know in my last video I told you guys that I had my very first test of this semester. I just want you to know that I made an A on my first test, and I'm very proud, very, very happy about that. And so that was great. I was like on cloud 9, and I was so happy. But you know, nursing school, they jump right into the next material, hit the ground running. Like there's no time to celebrate, no time to relax, just a little bit. So we started going over test 2 material, and it is so different. Like, I was prepared for the first test, I overstudied, I knew what I was doing. Test 2 material, not so much. We're going over the nursing process and like critical thinking and communication and all of this stuff, and let's just say it's not easy studying material. Like vital signs and hygiene and safety and restraints, all of that, not only is it memorization, but it's easy to study. Critical thinking and the nursing process, not so easy to study. So my next test is coming up in about a week, and let's just keep our fingers crossed that I do well. I hope and pray that I do well, because I got an A on my first test, so now I have an A in the class, and I don't want to make like a D on this test and completely like fail. So that was that, and then I told you guys that I had my first clinical in my last video. Man, do I have a story to tell you. My very first clinical was at a new facility with a new instructor, and a new group of people, you know, knew everything. And I wasn't familiar with a lot. I was super nervous. And so I get to this new facility. My instructor assigns us a patient and says, okay, bye, have fun. See you later. See you in a few hours. I freaked out. Like, I didn't know what to do. I knew my patient needed a bed bath. I completely forgot how to give a bed bath. I blanked. I had no idea what I was doing. And she was a big lady. And obviously I'm not a big girl. I'm small. So I get into the patient's room. I introduce myself. You know, I get ready for the bed bath and get all the stuff ready. I didn't know what to do. And the patient saw that. She knew that I was not prepared. So she was like insulting me and saying that I'm never going to be a good nurse if I can't do this. And, you know, she kept telling me to hurry up because I was doing things very slowly because I didn't know what I was doing. But technically, a patient in a nursing home should be freaking like honored to have a slow bath, a thorough bed bath, because those CNAs and those nurses at the nursing home do not take care of the patients like they should. And I'm sure that the patients are used to them just coming in and rubbing real quick and saying, okay, there's your bath. Well, I was trying to do what I could. And so I managed to get through the bed bath very slowly. And then I had to change her brief at the end so I could dress her and get her changed. And I didn't know how to do that either. I just wasn't prepared, and I didn't study, I didn't review the videos, and I feel terrible about that. So I went to go change her brief, and my patient was continuing to insult me and be very rude. So I just said, hold on a second, I need to go get some help. I went into the hallway, and I found my instructor, and I just started crying my eyes out. First clinical of the semester, I started crying because I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't prepared, and I felt incompetent. I felt humiliated because the patient was giving me such a hard time about this. And it was just like, it was such a hard day for me. It was so bad. And that's the reason why I was so super nervous to go to my second clinical the next week, because I didn't know if we were going to get the same patient or what. But I definitely did review my videos and my skills before the second clinical. And so I go to the second clinical. I had a rough night the night before, so I walk in there and I'm already like on the verge of tears. But my instructor assigned me a patient, and all's well that ends well. It went very, very good. The second clinical, I knew what I was doing. Not only that, but my patient was one of those patients who can pretty much do everything for herself. So for the bed bath, all I had to do was wash her back and her feet, which was no problem. And I changed a brief. I did a really good job with that because she was able to roll and help me and stuff like that. She was a small lady, but she was one of those patients who talks and talks and talks. Oh my goodness. Like, I couldn't even take the trash out of her room without being stuck in there for 10 minutes because she just wanted to talk so much. And I think that's definitely something that kind of eased the tension, the anxiety for me, because she just kind of, you know, opened up and acted like I knew what I was doing to begin with. So that kind of made me feel good. One thing that I was not prepared for on my second clinical day was the bedpan. I had never used a bedpan, never put anybody on a bedpan, and we even didn't go over that in the lab. So I had no idea what to do for a bedpan. All I knew was that the pee had to go in the bedpan. And my patient, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pee on myself. So I had to quickly put her on the bedpan and remove her brief. And, you know, I just kind of went with it. I was nervous, but I just kind of pretended like I knew what I was doing. And eventually she got the pee in the bedpan, and I cleaned it out and put the new brief on her. And it was such a weird experience. I'm pretty sure I touched a wet brief with my bare hands, which is not smart, and you're always supposed to wear gloves, but when your patient is all of a sudden feels like she's going to pee on herself, you really don't have time to put on gloves. which you're probably thinking, yes, you do, but oh well. I survived my second clinical day. It was great. It was wonderful. And I walked out of the room all smiles, no tears that day. So, yeah, that's the gist of what's been going on. I go home about every weekend to visit my family and to stay there. I've created study groups within my nursing classes. Every Thursday, we have a study group. Oh, sorry, I just remembered another great news that happened. So, remember, I told you about the phone issues. I was going back and forth between numbers and phones, and so I checked my voicemail on a Sunday, and I had voicemails from the jobs that I had applied to like a month ago, and they were all like, hey, we want you to come into the store for an interview. Well, I didn't, that was like a week ago. They had called me prior to that, so I didn't know if they were still interested or they still needed me or what, and I was so upset because I was like, oh my gosh, what if they don't hire me, or what if, I ruined my chance of actually getting a job because I was switching phones. So all I did was Monday morning, I called the stores, and this one guy was like, he didn't even question me. He said, if you're still interested, we're still interested. Come in tomorrow for training. Like, I had no interview. I had no, it was just awesome. So I have a job now. Yay! I have a job. Well, not technically. I work at Gigi's Cupcakes now, and I love the store. It is so cool. I actually learned how to do the swirl the other day, which was super hard, and it's harder than you think. It takes muscles, actually, to make cupcakes. I did not know that, because to squeeze the icing bag, it was really hard. But I love it. I love it there, and I'm going to start being hired officially soon, like within the next week. And I'm only going to get like 12 hours a week, but that's fine for me right now. In nursing school, any work is better than no work, because I just need some money coming in. I don't have any right now. So I have a job. Yay! I'm just trying to keep my spirits up, keep my head in the game, and continue with the same game plan that I had for test 1. I know it's going to be harder for test 2, but I'm so ready to do this, you guys, and I'm so thankful for your support, and thank you so much for being patient with me. I know I haven't keeping updating you regularly, but thank you so much for giving me a reason to share this with all of you, and I know that it's going to be okay. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.